You're listening to the C1D Paintball Podcast.
Hey there, Andrew. C1D Paintball Podcast. Before I introduce the four people that are going to be joining us, there's rain playing in the background. The people right now listening to this live don't hear it. I'm going to do that post-production because it's the theme of the paintball we played yesterday. But let's talk about who else is here. We got the medic. Forever to be known as the medic, we got Connor.
Yo, yo, yo.
We have one of the first guys to join. I think one of the first guys to join outside our core of regular players. We got Thomas.
Hello and good evening.
And last but certainly not least, we have half of our last guest. We have Mike.
Hey, it's always good to be here.
Actually, guest.
On time.
I'm sorry I called you all guests. It's part of the crew. And Miranda will be joining us too. She's being fashionably late here. And we're going to talk about, we go where we go, right? When you have a conversation. But I want to talk about the play day we had yesterday. We had a play day. We got together at the ball pit at McDonald's. Oh, sorry, it was a different play day. We played out of Warzone yesterday. And Connor, how would you describe the weather?
I mean, it was raining, but it wasn't anything too bad. It was refreshing, but we were, I guess, lucky enough to play mostly in the woods when it was raining pretty bad. So we didn't get torrentially downpoured on. No, it was sprinkling all day.
Mike, what's your analysis on the weather?
I played in worse. Definitely played in better. It was manageable. It really wasn't bad. Honestly, I don't know how. Oh no, everybody kind of left when we did, because right when we were leaving, it started coming down a little more. So I was like, yeah, I think we left at the perfect time. But overall, I didn't have any issues with the rain. It didn't mess with my balls too much or my marker or anything. I didn't slip and fall. So
now, I'm not going to
overall, I think we had fun.
I'm not going to ask Thomas because he wasn't there, but I just want to say something quickly. For myself, it's like I don't want to play in the pouring rain. It rained the heaviest our last game. We went down to base, and it's like, let's play one more game. We ended up playing 3 more games. The rain was really starting to come down, and I loved it. I wouldn't have loved doing 2 hours of it, but I absolutely loved it. Thomas, are you upset you missed the rain? Or no, a dog. One of your dogs ate a sock. Now, did Connor pull this story out of his ass, or is that true?
No, that's true. I woke up like the morning and I was getting all my stuff together, and then I noticed that there was a sock that was missing, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't eat it, and I have 2 dogs, so it may have gotten into a dog. So that's what I was paying attention for what was going on with the dog on that side there.
Okay, my first thought when I look down and I see one sock on the floor isn't which dog ate it, because I didn't. It might be look under your bed. So
No, I didn't eat it. I'm glad you clarified that, because that would have been my second follow-up.
I was just sitting there. There was a sock halfway out my ass, and I said, "Oh, geez, I must have ate that earlier."
Oh, like I had a husky before, and he would get into like everything. So yeah.
Okay, no, that's a sidetrack.
Mastiff.
So
They absolutely love sock.
We played 11 games yesterday. We started at base, went up on top. That's when it started raining a little bit more. I think that's the first time I personally played when it's raining like that, but the tree cover it wasn't too wet. It was kind of a weird, in Village, kind of this like immersive Vietnam movie with the forest and the rain coming down. I thought it was nice. Now I want Connor. I want you to explain what what did you get out of yesterday? I mean, what game was your favorite? You know, I thought it was a loose environment, so I'll let you take it from there.
I guess my favorite game of the day was we played I think maybe 2 team death matches on Market, and it would have been the one that I was spawning on the former White House side. And so that was the game after we ran in that VIP mode we tried. And so I didn't have any balls, I didn't have any air. So for that first little bit of the game, I was playing with our newest member Ben, staying close with him. And so I was helping him move up, and he was really into it. So that was really cool. And after he got up far enough, and I saw our guys thinning out, it's like, okay, I gotta go back to safe zone. I aired up, got some balls, and I started to play. Where it was kind of like some of their top dogs left and our top dogs left. And so I remember me and Miranda, we had quite the showdown, and she ran out of balls, thankfully. And Ben distracted the last guy, and I got the freeze on him. So it was a pretty cool little combo we did to win the game.
Actually, let's talk about that dynamic. By the way, and by the way, Ben is he's a little guy. Him and his dad came out yesterday. He had a great time. So in a lot of the videos, you'll see Connor, Mike, some of the other players on the team helping him out, and he took out the VIP in the very first game. Me just took me out. This is the dynamic. Mike and Miranda were playing each other against each other all day yesterday, and I don't know when the jokes came out. Is like, well, guess who's walking home? And the second time he said it, it sounded a bit like he meant it. So, Mike, Miranda, which one of you do you think got the upper hand yesterday on the other? Or have I ruined your evening?
I'm not gonna admit it. No. We've settled it. But I want to say that I absolutely got my ass kicked that day, and between you and her, it's absolutely destroyed. So she definitely had the upper hand that day on me all day.
Well, that poor building you were in, I didn't realize you were out.
Yeah.
After like 16
Yeah,
hours
she
later.
didn't realize that my hand was up and I said hit, so she, put a few extra 6-7 shots in the building just to make sure that.
Right, Connor? Sure.
Yeah, so.
Thomas, what do you call bullshit on that one, Thomas? Or
Hey, you pull the trigger, they're in flight. What's in flight stays in flight until it hits something, man.
It was a windy day.
It was fair game. Yeah, it was fair game.
Actually, to expand on and Thomas, this is what's interesting. Oh, by the way, yesterday, finally, you know how Thomas was the Enigma? Well, the Enigma, that's Ryan, aka Bigfoot. He came out for the first time, and he's always been like chatting online and all that with us. Well, he went to the team dinner before, but he never played with us before, and he meshed in really nice. So Thomas, we're playing team deathmatch on Market. It's the regular C1D guys, and there was a lot of wallflowering. I was up near the middle, and the only one up, and the game was almost 13 minutes long. The second was pretty long too, but it was just different. We were. Am I talking like? Is that the kind of vibe you got from that, Connor? Because it made it intense. Usually they're 4-minute games there.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely different. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I know Nevin didn't really run in, and I sat in the back, so that's like our two like aggressive players that like to run in. So we let you guys have a lot of the field, and it was definitely different in the back. It was cool to see you go up. I'm like, oh my god, that's my dad in the middle. He's crazy, but Oh, it was nice because we had some. It was different. It was really different game from the rest of the day.
Yeah,
We had 2 respawns that game too, didn't we?
Yeah, we had the
Yeah.
2 lives.
2 lives.
Or 2 lives. 2
Mhm.
lives.
Mike, were you like me running magazines? Because we had 2 back-to-back long games of that game type. And each time with the magazines, it's like, well, I'm down to my last mag. And I can't remember the last time I had that 2 games in a row. And I love that feeling, by the way.
That happened quite a bit to me yesterday, but definitely in those games. Luckily, well, I had my PPQ, but I still only have 1 magazine for that, so that just gets me out of a pinch, and then that's it. But I think after that fight when you smacked me there, I want to say I watched the footage and you got me twice that game. But I was
Well, you had 2
I would have been
lives,
out
so
of ball. Yep, you got me both times. But
The
I would have been
both.
out pretty soon because those were long games.
yeah, it was.
What about you, Miss Hopper?
I enjoy the hopper. I get pretty far with it, except that small tank, I ran out of air way too quick. So that kind of sucked.
So she's transitioned to the 13 tank.
Okay.
So she's not having to, if she doesn't want to have the vest or just to lighten the load, because having that tank on your back all day kind of,
Yeah.
It
wears
sucks.
a little bit on you. So she's been trying a 13 tank, but if you don't fill, I try to tell her that even if you're not empty, fill up every game that we're in that safe zone just to, be safe. So she's still learning, but I think she likes it a little more.
It's definitely super like obviously it's lightweight, but I just love having the maneuverability, and it's not as clunky as having your big tank sticking out the back.
Hey, can I actually mention something else while we're still talking about yesterday's game? There, play day.
Yeah.
So we had a group of rentals that started about half an hour after us, and we ended up. They merged us with them for 1 game. What were you sensing? By Mike, did you think anything into it when they all of a sudden just walked away? Like, we're not tryhards or anything, but did I miss something? What was your thought about? They were nice guys in that, but
I thought it was just a regular game. I don't know. I didn't. Again, I was having a pretty relaxed day, and I believe that was a game that I was running around with little Ben for a little part of it. But I didn't. I wasn't that aggressive. It was a good game. I'm not sure. I don't know. It seemed like just a regular game to me. Maybe we were just scary looking. Maybe that was it.
I mean, I remember that game differently though, slightly.
Yeah.
That was the game where it was me and Ben. We went outside the spawn 2 for on village, so the one that's on the hill.
Mhm.
And there's the building first thing when you go down. It was me, Devin, Ben, and 2 of those guys with us. And 2 seconds into the game, Nevin gets headshot like 4 times in his head. And the other guys freak out like, oh my god, we're gonna die here, we're gonna die here. So they're kind of freaking out.
When they're stuck in the spawn. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
and
played 2
so
games
like,
with them.
and I'm on the corner, and that was the game where I didn't bring my marker. I only had the smoke grenade, and you guys had us in a good spot. And after I died, they kind of start to freak out. So the impression I got is that they thought that we were really good or whatever, because I don't think we killed a single person that game. Like walking out, there wasn't a single yellow dead.
actually, I think I've got the answer. They see this guy in a black tight shirt running at them with no gun, just a smoke grenade, throws it at
Oh,
them.
they're all on
They
our
must have
team
thought you
though.
were nuts.
All the guys were on our team.
Okay.
That's why. So they got the impression that you guys were really good, I guess. I don't know. Oh no, there was one
do
because it
remember
was 3
them
guys and there was
being-
one that was on.
Thomas, you missed
Yeah,
it
I do
yesterday.
remember them not wanting to leave the spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thomas, I was actually hitting people yesterday. People like played with us, then left. It was like topsy turvy. I mean, Thomas isn't there, and all hell breaks loose.
I guess I'll stop showing up then.
No. Well, yeah, I'm hitting targets, but
Yeah.
for once in my life, it's about time. How many shots I make. Oh, by the way, you know what I forgot to mention? is we had a double feature this weekend because we actually had a team dinner on Friday night. And Connor, what did you eat? No. We had a nice little team dinner at the Manoir. I take advantage of the fact that we're eating at a place near my house, so I don't have to drive very far. And that was a very nice evening. It was pretty good. I believe Kill Hit is still waiting for us to show up because he probably showed up around 10 o'clock or so. Okay.
Maybe Mikey was still there.
No, I just we mentioned his name a couple times. Ben played with us yesterday. He was just a little guy, so Connor's side with Mike and that they chaperoned him, showed him around and all that. So, but we still had a pretty good day of ball. Like I said, I mean, there's no doubt the rain made it interesting. I like how it covered the trees and all that. But one thing, and a double segue because I see Norm is listening here, and Nick's also listening. Who's going to love this. Okay, so Norm and Rob, I'm not sure which one of them did more work on the bomb, but they brought the bomb yesterday, and unfortunately we couldn't use it. But we will be using it the next night because we're playing Night Ops on July 13th. And I will ask, I'm going to ask Thomas to start off on this one since he's been a bit of a wallflower for obvious reasons. He wasn't there yesterday. See, I'm just going to dig that into you, Thomas. You weren't there yesterday. How about at dusk? Because we can play up on top to a certain point. So when it starts getting dark a bit, and you've got a window of, because up on the mountain there, it can be 20 minutes, half an hour, where all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're getting no light. We take that bomb and we go in the entire upper portion. The ref plants that bomb somewhere. He's got a key, that one key for each side where they got to plug it in, turn it, and their side wins. But you got to find the bomb first. You got to find the guy with the key. And I thought that would be a kind of cool way to finally use that for that event. Thomas, does that sound like fun? Does it sound like somebody's going to trip over a gopher hole in the dark? What do you think?
I do think that quite a few people should be looking into flashlights a little bit. I don't know how dark it's actually going to get because even like right now it's 20 past 8 and still light outside. So I think unless we're playing until way past like 10 p.m., that's when it's actually going to get dark. But it does sound like a more lengthy game, which I think is going to be very interesting.
Maybe you play it the first night, the first game of the night, because ultimately we'll end up in town. And town is good. Base in town is good, but I don't want to play there on town for like 2 hours. But what do you think of that game type setup? Mike, Miranda, Connor, am I the only guy that's nerding out about this? I thought that would be like cool up there in the dark.
I love scenario stuff. Like I'm all about it. That's kind of why I got into the paintball thing, was to do Call of Duty stuff. So I'm all for it.
Real life video games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. You just gotta like a little thing for it is that say it's like, imagine we want it to be long and say it's 20 minutes. You put the timer so it's 20 minutes and 30 seconds. So the ref starts it, runs somewhere, then he starts the game. Because if you see him start the game and it's only the one ref, right, you're gonna know where the bomb is. And that's a big part because it's something you might forget to do something like that.
It's also a black box, so if the referee wants to get really sneaky, he can and put it in some really interesting places on the field.
Yeah, that's why when we were playing the something with the bomb yesterday, and I like made sure it's like, hey guys, just for this, it's our first time. Only put it in a building, or else it's gonna be like too hard to find in that 6-7 minutes.
I have no idea where to look for it.
5 hours later, we're still looking for it.
It would ultimately just end in a team match at that moment.
Yeah, we'll have to sort out how many lives we get and all that. I mean, it's a good beta test for it because at the field, while they're almost done the second floor on base, they seem to be concentrating on the airport on top so they can open up a new field. So let's be optimistic. Let's say, maybe we'll see something in August. That would be nice at least, but and we can lose the bomb there.
You could, but if we lose it by the timer, when the timer goes off, we'll find it, right?
Well, it depends. Norm and Rob, I'm not sure who's taking credit, biggest credit for building that, but I'm sure that if it doesn't work properly, that they'll blame the other. That was done
Well,
on company time.
just so you know, Norm wrote, Rob built it and put the lights and alarm, then Norm did all the wiring, so
Okay.
it is a 50-50. So it's whichever part doesn't work, they'll blame the other.
There you go. Poor guys. It looked so nice yesterday, and we just couldn't get the
Beautiful,
game back
by
on.
the way.
It
Things
looks
like
so-
perfect looking too.
All right,
No, it looks
so
great.
we're because Connor and I are used to it too, and the season starts, and right away at the beginning of the season you have D-Day, but now we're getting into just the regular routine and all this, and I'm no longer spending 4 hours every day working on that monster video, and I'm really in a good spot going into the next 4 months with paintball and that. And I just wanted to maybe leave it open here because Thomas, do you want anything to present for the roundtable here? Thomas, again, we've mentioned it before in the podcast. He is he's the guy who's played the most paintball. I think you and Jeff. So that's why I respect your opinion. Looking into the past there, just your experience.
Well, if you're looking for another big game, Mirabelle, the Tipman Challenge should be coming up in August sometime. There's also the Wasaga Beach. What was that? It was the weekend of August 16th to 18th. But Wasaga Beach, even from my place, is about 7.5 hours away.
It's supposed to be
that's
a good
quite,
game. It's supposed to be a very
that's
good
quite
game.
it's quite the trek, though. What else are we looking at? There's also the Fort West game also, which is the same weekend.
Fort West is about for Mike and Miranda and those who may not know listening, if anyone is. It's probably 45 minutes or an hour north of Montreal. It would be 20 minutes tacked on to what, for instance, Connor and I drive to go to Warzone and that. So it's a very nice facility in that, so we can open that up with it. But no, I'm getting into the routine just of like regular games now. And last year we were lucky; we did not get a lot of rainouts. But Mike, you've got a lot of ideas about, you've gone to a couple of different fields in that, and we want to do something. Somebody even mentioned going to the new Lancaster field in that. Mike, you've seen more fields than me this year. What's your thoughts going in to fill in those every second weekends where we're not at Warzone?
I'm honestly, just like the first podcast when I mentioned, we're still on the just want to go wherever we can fill in our weekends. So I'm honestly down to go to the couple of places that we've been that you guys haven't been yet, or to the new places that we haven't been yet that you guys haven't been yet this year, but you've frequented before, or just find a new place that we both haven't been to and just go for it, because I think even if you have a mediocre time getting out on the new fields and meeting new people, and it's pretty exciting. New game modes. It's a nice refresh. So I think getting out there and just finding places, that's what we did. We got on Google and you just find a list, how far away it is, and plan it and send it. So now we're filling in every other weekend in between our weekends with you guys, and we're just looking at different places to go. We managed to somehow hit 0 hour after D-Day, which was just wild. Which was a field we frequent often. Oh my God, we could only do 1 out of the 2 days because we were just exhausted from D-Day, and it was mag fed, and it was a big event. It was quite different from D-Day. But overall, what did you think about 0 hour compared to D-Day?
Well, that was my first MagFed game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which I actually enjoyed. I lost a lot of balls.
loading the mags. They were
Yeah.
just shooting out everywhere every time she was trying to load the mags.
Your
I got the
first
hang
time
of it,
loading
though. The only
mags
thing
is in a big game. My God.
I'm sure the owners enjoyed it.
Yeah.
More balls for us to get. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed the mag fed, and I want a mag fed marker. So that's gonna be a thing in the future. But no, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we got another one, boys. Another mag fed.
Connor, you
But,
can't be the only
yeah,
one with a hopper
it was,
soon, man.
Ever, ever,
She
ever.
still loves her hopper though. It's not.
Yeah.
It'll be a back and forth thing. But yeah, just to I won't take up too much time with it. We were only there for a day, and we had an absolute blast. We met so many cool new people, and I bought a new marker that day from someone who I met randomly online the day before, and we saw Tonka and Pat McGoey and some other, just random people from D-Day, and all I want to say is, it was an awesome big game, but it was just so much different from D-Day because all day we were fighting over one objective. There wasn't like, oh, there's 3 slapsticks over here, 3 slapsticks over here, and then an area over there. There was one flag in the middle, and it was either red or it was blue, and it was just a constant just back and forth, which it was, it was toe to toe all day. So it was a different vibe to it. But they threw in some, different objectives to, on the side for you to capture and stuff. The coolest thing I thought about it that separated it from any, event that I've seen was usually, yellow versus red, red versus blue, etc. What they did to help balance things out was they had, it was red versus blue that day, but they had a yellow team, which was like a spec ops. Really, like, it was a small team of really good professional guys who were out there, and they would swap teams. Depending, if one team was just getting housed, they would hop on the other team, and it was pretty cool. It was a nice mix, but it made it confusing. Sometimes you just didn't know who to shoot at. Miranda is looking, she's like, "There's a guy in the yellow. Do we shoot at him?" I was like, "I'm not sure. Maybe." Is he shooting at us? But yeah, it was a blast. So yeah, let's get out there and try some new fields. Get over to the States when you guys can, because it's a different vibe over here for sure.
Connor, when he mentioned, no, we're definitely we're traveling. My wife's gone for a couple extra weekends there, so it's the boys, and we'll hit something else new. But you mentioned the yellow. Connor, do you remember the second expeditionary force would have been Mirabel, when we're on the field and all of a sudden, who is shooting at us from the boats? Do you remember that?
Yeah, no, they got like, I don't even know. There's like this boat just on the field, and there's people like inside of it, like below deck, and they're shooting through like tiny like holes. And when they're not, well, they released a video like of a camera they put in the corner to see like how hectic it was. It's like they're in a tank, how like claustrophobic it is. Yeah. And when they're not shooting out of a hole, they're putting stuff in and plugging it so you can't shoot back. It's like impossible to kill them, and it's like they're just going through like so many shots. It was crazy, and they're like a mercenary group.
Yeah,
they're like meant to be similar to this yellow team, but they weren't like enlisted temporarily to one side. They were told to just kill everybody they saw.
So we didn't know, and it's like, who's that? How did they get here that fast? It's the mercenaries. They held us at bay because we had to. We tried smoking them out of the base. I mean, it was crazy, but they went away. Actually, they sent me the video, and I made a video of it. Is what happened. I'll send you guys the link to that. But yeah, the third party there really cool. Is pretty wild. Thomas, I'm sure you've dealt with that in the past from big games in the past where there's a third faction. I mean, I've seen some big games in that have even 4. Have you ever experienced that?
I have. I've played about 3 or 4 Arnold's big games, and there were 3 factions like every single year. And there was one year where the third faction was the flip flop faction going between the other two teams. Because basically, Arnold's exterior field, if you think about it, it was actually shaped like a pair of pants. So you would have one team starting at their hamburger hill, which would be at the waistline of the pants, and then down at the bottom of the leg of one pair of pants, pant leg would be second team, and then other pant leg would be the third team, and then also the way the scenarios went with Arnold's big game was it was actually followed after themes from movies. One of the nicest one I played was the one that was after Three Kings with George Clooney, and it was
Mark Wahlberg's
was
in
it?
everything. So you just see Mark Wahlberg. He might have been in the movie. I don't know.
No, it was before that. This was like a mid-90s movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in it too.
Okay.
And basically, it
But
was.
how are they at
it was,
paintball?
Yeah, it was gold bars. So it was three teams fighting after the gold bars because that was kind of like tied into the theme of the movie, and that was done through a number of years, and that was always fun. But the third faction, flip flopping, that had something to do with some missile pieces. So your objective was to get collect all the missile pieces, put it together, and then you can have the third faction fighting for your team, and then just clobber the third.
Oh, cool.
Well, you know what? Actually, that brings up something when you're talking about you have the pieces of to build the missile. Miranda famously helped solve one of the riddles at D-Day, and that. One of the things we talked about at dinner actually Friday, and I want everybody's opinion on that is well, not their opinion, but if they concur with it, I suppose. Is the thing about a big game is a lot. There are people like at one point a couple of guys going, "Oh, there's guys just sitting in the forest and they're just sniping all day." Yeah, they go there. That's what they do all day. You know, some people aren't into those extra missile things and that, and some people are just happy to sit in the tall grass and fire first strikes at you. I mean, it's a dynamic of a big game that's kind of it can considering we ran with so many people. It might anger us, but if we're going in it solo on that, or is it just for tryhards? Am I putting you on the spot here, Connor? You got to play as a unit, or you just play the way you want to at a big game?
I mean, I think you should play as a team, right? Like, even if you want to win, right, our team, but it's not like as if it's like, oh, we're if we're not winning, we're going home, we're gonna be mad, we're gonna be upset. Like, we're having fun, right, to win. But I think even if you're not playing, as a team and coordinating on those things, I think it's fine to have those kinds of players that are just doing their own thing, that are they just have no problem sitting in the back and shooting stuff. You can't tell people how they should or shouldn't play. I think that's kind of
Did you
a
guys?
little wrong to do, even though I don't agree. I wouldn't ever have a first strike marker, and I wouldn't see myself shooting people from that far away and think it's fun, but that's not fun for me, so I'm not going to say it's not fun for them.
Did anyone besides me, and I know the answer is yes, when you in a situation where you've been running around and all of a sudden you're standing there or you're walking back from spawn and somebody turn around and say, "Get to the front line." It's like, man, I've been there all day. Shut up.
Yep. No, I definitely lived that this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, me, Mike, and Miranda had it happen together.
Oh no.
When I just came back from the woods into the town in the first half, we had
was that the French woman?
yeah.
Yeah, it's on it's on
Supposed
the
to get
video.
our asses to the front. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Did she
Yeah,
know?
you'll have that.
actually,
And by the way, I looked it up. That Three Kings movie. You were right with the Mark Wahlberg guess. He's in it.
you are
no.
kidding me.
Me, Mark Wahlberg, and guess the last person. There's another '90s actor.
Well, there was George Clooney. There was Cuba Gooding Jr., Mark Wahlberg.
I can't believe Mark Wahlberg was actually in it.
Okay, the last guy's Ice
Jesus.
Cube.
Ice Cube.
That's Ice Cube. Oh no.
I have to put that on my watch list.
No, that is a '90s cast. Yeah.
90s heist movies.
That was it was a Desert Storm type of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be with well, it's Iraq. I'm not sure if it was Desert Storm or the actual what was the oh my gosh. I'm losing my mind. I'm going to say some obscure battle from probably 400 years before.
Battle of Gettysburg.
Kuwait was Desert Storm, right?
I think so, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that reminds me of the story where we're talking about somebody mentioned in one of our super secret Discord room that the scenario with the bomb should be the hunt for Bin Laden, and it's like that's a very expensive type scenario, crashing a couple of helicopters. We also went into like the end game thing, which I can't really talk about here right now, but I thought it was accurate. So there's an inside joke, and for those of you listening who have access to that Discord, go check it out. It's like I'm advertising. And by the way, do you know how many comments I've got in the last 2 days? People telling me, "Are you really going to post a video for 11 straight days on D-Day? You're like spamming my page." And one guy actually said, "Is he's rooting for me, thinking there's no way that you're going to post 11 long videos in a row." And anyway,
Little does he know they're all ready, and you're just shooting them out of the gun.
that's it.
You wanted to throw up the 4-hour video.
I tried uploading it. 98 gigs is apparently going to take, I think it was 63 hours.
Years, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
years.
2 billion years, yeah.
I think it's a good system. I enjoy it. I like watching it day to day when we can. But it's just like a series. I'm just so glad it's not week to week because like we get to the end and it's like it just cuts off and we're like, oh, what? We need the next one. Like now we gotta wait till the morning and like she gets ready and goes to work. So sometimes I catch them in the morning. Sometimes we watch them after work. But we're always just waiting for the next one. So you did well in that aspect of making them want the next one. You know what I mean? That's working, at least for us.
I was going to say when it ends, I mean, you were there, you know what happens next. So what the hell?
Yeah, but there was
And
so
not
many
been right
times
where we were, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
There was a lot of times now watching it because I mean, in my head, I was like, yeah, I was with you guys a lot of the days. A lot of the day we got sent, to another part here and there, and of course we took our breaks and stuff. But now watching the video, I was like, wow, we missed a good chunk of some cool things. So it's nice to watch that aspect of it, and also to know that we need to be there a little more next year. So we're also learning things from it.
Well, Thursday, the last episode is the one where it's the assault on Bear Hill, which is a good one. I know we're gushing over D-Day still, but I think I saw Thomas 4 times after the start. 3 times he was at this truck on the front line, and he's looking around, just occasionally shooting, hitting people, probably every shot with his luck. And the only other time I saw him where he wasn't at that truck was when the time sounded when we won that assault and the game ended, and him running and we hugged. I was just looking for my son, and no, I realized that I'm looking at the camera saying, okay, I saw Thomas there. And then all of a sudden at the end, it's like, oh, he was just probably behind me the whole damn time. Connor, what did you think?
Not to put Miranda. Oh,
sorry. No, go. No,
go
comment. No, for sure.
I was just gonna say, because last podcast we got to all kind of, say our things about D-Day, and I know it's been a few weeks now, but my wife has a way better memory than I do. I was just gonna ask her what her, being her first big event and her first time on the podcast, just kind of not to put you on the spot, but like, how was your day? What were your thoughts? Overall.
I don't know. It was very overwhelming. I kind of wanted to be everywhere at once, if that makes any sense. I really enjoyed when we'd go somewhere, whether we'd die or need a break, and then we'd go check somewhere else out. It's just nice to see there were so many different things happening at the same time. Our team was either together, all over. I don't know. It was just nice to be a part of a little bit of everything. I liked it.
Yeah. How'd your marker work out for you that day?
It was great. I got to use my full auto a little bit.
Didn't
It was
get to use
nice.
that too often. So at the end of the day, I had ended up buying another box of balls. So at the end, when I knew there was only about 10 minutes left, I put my hand on her shoulder and I said, "Go full auto, shoot over that ridge and don't stop until we're out of balls." We ended up running out of air, but yeah. So
It was nice.
yeah, so you had a good
Actually,
time.
here you
I
go,
loved it.
Miranda.
I'm ready for next year.
Miranda, so what did you think when the game started and Connor is yelling for us to go, everybody move up? I'm yelling from well behind Connor that everybody to move up. And we sent you guys on that tree line along the tape line, and you first encountered like enemies you wouldn't see all day in First Strike. What was that first feeling when you got over the bridge, and then subsequently, uh, when the shots started coming in everywhere? What was that feeling like?
I can definitely say right before we even started the whole thing, that last, was it 30 seconds to a minute countdown, felt like the longest minute of my life. So we're all running. But when you said to where we had got, and you see everybody, you hear all these bullets whizzing by you, I was like, this is it. This is D-Day.
Yeah.
But my adrenaline was so high. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
She did better than I did because I had to get respawned, and then I think I walked back and I came back and she was still hunkered down that entire time, just taking shots. And she's such a small target.
I mean, I didn't want to miss anything either. I was like, oh, I'll just hide in this little corner, and I was just taking it all in.
You just gotta
Yeah.
hide behind Connor.
Behind me? I'm always
you're a
hiding
medic.
behind somebody.
Oh, sorry. By the way,
Yeah.
Connor, you're. I know you hurt your leg and you didn't run around like you normally do in the second half, but now that you've seen the video, you did tell me the comment. Like it's, and the first part was 5 videos. I mean, there's basically 4 of them where you're constantly reviving people. You were hard on yourself saying you felt like you didn't do a lot. I mean, I was even surprised how many guys you revived. Are you feeling a little bit better about your self-worth after the game now?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's there's definitely periods of time during the game where I was telling myself I needed to do like more. That was like me when I was like running back to like sit back. And when I'm sitting down there for like in the video it's 30 seconds. When I was in the game it felt like I was there for like 5 minutes. And that's why I think even a few times in the video I'm like, how has it not been like, it's already been like 2 hours. It felt like much longer. Like every actual minute it felt like 10 minutes for me. So it felt like there was times I wasn't doing much, but like I said, those are actually really short periods. So it's definitely good to feel like I made a difference in the first half, because I definitely know that medics have a big job to do.
There's only 2 medics on each side. The other gentleman that was medic for us for most of the day, because they switched out late, was this tall guy with long red hair, and he was running around everywhere. And this isn't a dig on anything. I'm just curious if their medics were like running around like that as well, because that can like make or break your D-Day in that. The adrenaline you must get, Connor, is great, but man, to do it for 4 hours, I mean, geez. Then again,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what it is. It's just a matter of staying hydrated and not twisting anything. That was one thing I was really mindful of. If you want to get inside my head, it's when I was running, I was constantly looking at the floor for like not to get my foot just like in like on a slight like incline or something where I roll my ankle or something. So I was really looking for that and stuff, and yeah. I remember what you said just before for me to say that, but oh well.
I will add that the breaks that you were taking and stuff, and I noticed that on the field, but even more watching the videos, you would go and you would get behind a group of people, and you would be breathing hard. I just watched you revive like 18 people, zooming past. But you'd take a break and you'd say, "Hey guys, I'm taking a breather. I just, I just need to catch my breath. And a lot of people were really supportive on it. Oh no, don't worry about it. We got you covered. You need any water? I heard a lot of people ask you if you need this, you need that. Don't worry about it. You're killing it out there. So yeah, no, you were killing it out there.
I would feel so
for sure.
guilty
You
as a
need breaks.
medic. Imagine the guilt you get, like a headshot, and it's like, oh God, I gotta go back, and then of course
Oh,
it's
it's
like
an anywhere shot.
it's
Not a headshot. It's an anywhere shot. Yeah,
but
to
you can
die.
get revived by the other medic, can't you?
No, medics,
Oh.
if they die, they're dead no matter what.
Ooh. I see
Didn't
that.
I ask that? Did you get?
Yeah, well, it's because they don't
I
want a
know you
medic
had some
reviving a
bouncers.
medic, where it's you can like keep on
Infinite.
tagging each other.
Oh, that's
Be
true. That's true.
like as you're walking up.
No, Connor
the
had
medics can't.
bounces all day. It was like Norm was shooting at him. Hey, Norm, in the lobby.
I realized that in the video that there's cuts where I got hit because I got hit a lot, and I swear to God none of them broke, but one
It was off
in my
your
head.
face too.
But-
Yeah, because you're standing there. You went back to spawn. He hadn't been
Yeah.
hit all day. He finally gets hit, and then he goes to spawn. Then he's out there, and I walk up to him. And he's leaning on his stick like Ken Dryden. That's a hockey goalie. But anyway, and I look, and he was so tired. He went back to spawn. He didn't even wipe his freaking mask. It's got like paint dead center in it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay,
Yeah, you
well,
killed it, but
That I have a question for you if you don't mind.
absolutely, absolutely. This is the part I was going to say. We're probably winding down here. Let's throw something on the table here to wind it out.
Oh, well, it's kind of a two-parter.
Okay.
So I already know kind of when we talk in the car, but I bet some other people watching this are probably interested in how you do the videos. So obviously you've uploaded some videos on like the specs and like very specific details. But when we have a normal game day, there's always, we're always talking in the car that there's like that one game, that's the first video I'm putting out. Like it's a good one, it was whatever, blah blah blah. How is it that you go about like actually making the video, like in terms of cutting it out and like making your script of what to say? What's the process for that?
Actually, I didn't know he was going to ask me this, and I absolutely love the fact that you asked me this. One of the things I love about editing the video is I get to watch all that day's action, and just like we're talking about D-Day, we'll remember things in the next few months we forgot, even when people watch the videos now. But when I get in that zone, that's the screen here. I got 3 screens, and I start looking at everything. And it's like, oh yeah, that. And even better, it's like, I didn't see that. I didn't notice that. And I sync them so I see Connor's at the same time. And that's where, like you said, when we're talking, saying, oh man, that was a really good game. I can't wait to see that. And a lot of times it's like, yeah, it is good. But then when I take it and the videos and I chop them up like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, because I have 2 or 3 tracks. And when I start going through it, just to making sure everything's okay, I still have that one game I'm thinking of. Then I'll see something really cool. And it's like, oh, that's wild, It's like I did notice like when I went around the corner, like we were watching before where Miranda was like looking around a corner and 2 players were walking behind her. And things out of the corner of your eye you don't see. And I find it exciting. And I mean, I've even called you into my little studio office thing here sometimes. Do you remember this and that? And it's almost like half the fun is playing it, then the other half is like, what did I miss? Or man, that looked cool, And Mike saying I popped him a few times yesterday, but I'm looking. I shot a lot of paint at you. I hope I hit you. It's not as if I one tapped you. I find it incredibly exciting. And just to throw something, different at everybody, because, if this was a hockey game, it's like, this is the score, these are the goals, that's it. But for us, it's a lot of the goofy stuff and that. So it's like, oh man, this happened. That was pretty wild, or I didn't notice this, and I just get into it. We mentioned earlier that we were going to play one last game, and we played 3 when it was starting to really rain hard. I was looking at footage from Connor because I'd gotten knocked out. Remember when me and you swapped out, Mike? One of the last games?
yeah.
Yep.
Yep, we both kind of stepped out and just shot each other. Yep.
Yeah, because I swear, for the first time in my life, I would have flanked Connor otherwise. Thanks for taking that from me. But Connor ended up behind a few barrels, and he's sitting there holding his angle, and you see the raindrops in the water on the top of the barrels. And it's really cool. And, you know, I'm really nerding out here, video editing. Then a couple of shots go in the actual puddle, and it like exploding. So then I'm sitting here for 10 minutes in front of my computer color grading it. So that looks really, really cool. Then I'm realizing that it'll probably kill my computer because I'm over editing it. But yeah, you never know till you see it. It's a lot of fun, especially in the case of if Connor has a helmet on or anybody gives me their footage. Not a helmet. He's always got a mask on, a camera rather. You see how excited I get over this. It's the fun things you see, you know, the things you forget. In the video from our last game, our last time out, there's a part where Miranda's holding a corner on one at Village because that's her spot, right? If you're ever playing against Miranda when she's going to be in that spot, and you're still not going to get her. You got to sacrifice somebody in the road. But I've got the point of view camera on my marker, and I'm sitting there and I'm whispering and I'm pointing where things are, and the camera angle is just, it looks really cool. Again, I'm probably being a nerd over this, but you know, when you make a video and you want to make it look cool. You almost want to make a video that people say like, oh man, I really want to try paintball, or you know, it's little things like that, because you're not going to go out and get, okay, Connor once did it, but you're not going to kill a dozen people in a game. You know, it's not Call of Duty or a game like this. It's all these, I think, extra things that a lot of people that play in our group, yeah, it's good to nail people and hit them and that, but it's just, like I said, the little things. I always tell the new people when they get there, make call outs. You don't know my name. You don't know the name of the thing. I see a guy here on the left, see a guy in the middle, especially kids, little kids. You just make them feel involved. And it's those little moments. And when I see it like that on the video, it's like, you know, man, I want to put this out. And it's probably why I take too many breaks and I explain things, what's happening, but I'm working on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said you're nerding out and stuff. I don't want to speak on like Mike's behalf and even Miranda, because she's uploading her own stuff now. But like, even when I watch your videos, Dad, and I see like my perspective, it's really cool because I see all these little things that you just forget. Like you're mentioning the stuff with the rain on the barrel. That was cool. I don't remember it like exactly. But after the game, Norm told me he was the one shooting at me, that he saw the rain coming off the barrel and he thought it was badass. And it's like, yeah, that was badass. I didn't think of it because it's like all I'm thinking of during the game, right, is like, you know, who's here, who's there, where am I, how can I get shot, blah, blah, blah. I'm not thinking of these small, cool things. And so I think it's cool to have that thing when you highlight that well in your videos, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, like Miranda, right? That's a thing you see when you're editing your videos and you play it back, right? You're doing your trimming and stuff, is you see these cool details of like, you know, how cool the sport is. So
actually, Miranda, you made an excellent video that I was very impressed with, because you have transitions, right, between one scene and another. Some people, I usually do just a straight fade from one to the other, so one goes in, one goes out. You can have things like, you know, paper tearing, or just it wobbles, it goes like a television's going fuzzy. And she had the structure in, maybe it's because I did music when I was younger and read music and stuff like that, but you need to structure things. There's a start and there's a stop. So she has all these sections of the video, but the transitions, the first transition she used, and then she used, I think, 2 or 3 others. But then it would go in order. Like you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So your first transition is your last. The next 2 last are together. So it's like you're watching this video, and even though you can see the timer, those kind of transitions, it's how a lot of professional people build up and then take you down to the end. And either that or you just got lucky.
I was gonna say, are you a genius or is that accidental?
I think I kind of got a little lucky. Not gonna lie, the song and the way everything with the movement, it worked out pretty good. But I wasn't even planning to do the whole beginning and ending matching until I got like halfway through the video, and I actually got stuck. I didn't know really what I wanted to do for effects, so I kind of just reused them, and I guess it worked out. I'm really glad you picked up on it because it did work out pretty well.
Yeah, it's not as random and stuff like that, so that's cool. No, but I wish I had. But the cameras you guys use, I'm just ultimately jealous. The only time I don't mind having my cheap cameras that aren't the best for footage is D-Day, because it looks like Saving Private Ryan, like you're really on the beach, because it's shaking. I mean, I look over and it shakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our next thing to upgrade.
Yeah.
That would require a lottery
and
ticket.
I actually I still to this day am not running a case or any screen protectors on mine. It's just it's the 10 and they got the mount built into it. So it's just the camera on my mask, and I haven't even taken, knock on wood, a direct shot to it yet. So doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how many times have you seen me and Connor take that?
I bought my dad one for Father's Day, but my mom made me return it because she said that he was gonna have a heart attack about always getting hit. So I got him a book instead.
All of his videos,
me some money.
Him hiding behind bunkers. Like, my wife told me I can't get hit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd be stressed out too, even having that. But
it's Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Thomas,
I just couldn't let her have a nicer camera.
Yeah, I'm still around.
I was going to say, by the way, did we establish if you actually got the sock back?
Yeah, the sock came back up, and I definitely disposed of it.
Which end? We need to know.
It's a 50-50 call.
I think that's your
The dog's
answer.
all right, right?
The dogs are fine.
The dogs are fine. That's what dogs do. Okay, so we're at just under 58 minutes here. There are people to thank. It's just so many good things happening here. Warzone, opening new fields, upgrading fields. It was good to go after D-Day. It was nice to be home, and that was cool there. I know they actually. I just want to thank everybody. I just got such a good, positive, happy attitude. Thomas, who should we thank? Who should we thank that we never thank that contributes to us or helps our little paintball world?
I'm trying to think.
thank you to the refs yesterday, right? You know, being out in the rain with us.
Thank you to the refs every day.
Yeah, thank you, refs. We love you. All of you.
Actually, did you see the refs when it was pissing rain those last 3 games? We're going to play one more. They're looking at us. Huh? Really? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to get wet too.
There you go. Okay, so that's it for this one, and we'll have new adventures soon. I want to thank Thomas. I want to thank Mike and Miranda. Ooh, see? That's what you call a real shout-out. And I want to thank Connor. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy.
I am. I'm the best boy.
You're the
compared
best.
to that fella on the ground.
Oh my gosh, look at him. No, he might. I don't know. He's winning me over there, man. On the camera, for those of you listening.
I'll go lay on your floor.
Oh, all right. This is getting a little awkward. I see dust on the shelf behind you, Connor. Get your ass in gear and clean that up. All right. So until next time, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for everyone who was here. Be safe, and remember, at the end of the day, no, that's not this. That's for the videos. Don't be a dick. You'll figure it out.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like us, rate us, and tell everybody about us. Thanks for listening.